Our next speaker today is Elizabeth Nelson.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Nelson, and I live in the 4th Ward. I have lived in Ann Arbor for almost 14 years, and for all of those years, the Y Lot property has been undeveloped. So tonight, I want to know from this group how buying the Y Lot now will be different than the last time the city bought it in 2003. Because in 2003, the city had very specific goals in buying it related to affordable housing. And I haven't heard anyone yet pin down a goal for city ownership of this property. Rattling off every possibility is not a goal. Saying that we can't decide anything if we don't own it is not a goal. Declaring its potential value is not a goal. The lot had potential value when the city first bought it in 2003, too. Joking that you might have to consult a lawyer before stating a goal is not reassuring to me. So tonight I ask you to please not frame discussion of this lot's history as starting in 2012, because that is not honest. This council has an obligation to present and consider this issue fully and thoughtfully. I ask you to do better than you did 2 weeks ago. I would just like to say to anybody watching or hearing me now that I hope everyone reads the amended complaint for the current litigation, maybe even more members on council, because it is not a simple contract. And triggering the buyback is not a simple or obvious choice. The council might not be free to talk about potential terms of negotiated settlement, but Ann Arbor voters should wonder about that to fully understand the city's choices, not just the ones presented here. If buying that property is the right thing to do, this room must acknowledge and discuss how much the city has already spent on this property since first buying it in 2003. Also, acknowledge what kind of development restrictions were taken into account with the appraisal numbers. There are more than 2 numbers related to this property. It's not just one buyback sum and an appraised value. It's misleading to simplify this issue as just 2 numbers. I urge this room to acknowledge and discuss the full length of time this property has been unresolved, particularly the 9 years that the city owned it and couldn't successfully develop it. If buying it back is the right thing to do, we should all wonder, how is the city more competent to develop this property now than it was in 2003? I ask today's city council to answer that question, please. We are better than this. That's all I have to say. We are better than this.